Anonymous. Hi team, sorry to contact you again. I seem to be passing a lot of mucus plaque up to 4 times a day. I started 2 scoops twice a day for a week now, and I've been on 2 scoops daily for 2 weeks prior to that. So yeah, that sounds right, that he was having 2 scoops in the morning on the first week, and then the second week you decided to do that again, and then 2 scoops twice a day now, and you've been doing that for a week. You have lupus and developed yeast and cow's milk intolerance at the start of the new year. Sorry to hear that. As previously stated, my doctor suggested I try Qenda to help. I'm just worried there is still no substance to my stools. I've been yeast-free, dairy-free and gluten-free for the past month. Yeah, well done for cutting out yeast and dairy. I know, and gluten. I know it's quite hard. It's a big shock to the system, but when it comes to that, I just try focus on whole foods that you can eat, obviously protein, and like carbs just on their own that haven't been processed or anything. Yeah, it doesn't mean you have to cook your own meals, but it does seem to make diet a lot easier when you make stuff out of whole foods rather than buying stuff in packets. Otherwise, everything's got yeast and dairy and gluten in. My energy levels are the best they have been, so this is a positive, but my stools are still nowhere near right. I guess I'm looking for some guidance here. I'd be grateful for some information as what to expect at the 4 week mark. Thanks in advance. So yeah, great question, Anonymous. And yeah, now you've started the 2 scoops twice a day. You're sort of like on week 2 of the protocol, because yeah, obviously that's when you normally start the 2 scoops twice a day. So let's say you're on week 3, week 4, going into, yeah, and you said you're passing a lot of mucus plaque. When you say mucus plaque, I assume what you mean is like the impacted feces that's been squashed against the intestinal lining. If that is the case, yeah, that once that's out basically. That's what I love about the Qenda. Like, some people go for colonic hydrotherapy, and the Qenda, to literally get rid of. Some people go to colonic hydrotherapy to get rid of the impacted feces in their system, and with the Qenda, it actually can bring out all that impacted feces, which is what I think you mean by mucus and plaque. So that's great that the Quenda's bringing that out, and then as that, now you're on the 2 scoops twice a day. That's probably why it's really bringing stuff out. Keep an eye on what comes out. Keep an eye out for like anything that you haven't eaten, and that can be a sign of parasites, fungal infection, and yeah, they're normally the ones that you can see coming out. And if you're saying you're passing a lot of mucus, because I know you said mucus plaque, so I'm just trying to cover both options. If you're seeing a lot of mucus coming out, mucus is what your whole digestive system secretes to protect itself from intruders. It's the first line of defense, what your body does. So just like when you get mucus in the throat, it's the same reason why you get mucus in your digestive system. If there's anything in there that's creating inflammation, the mucus is there, and it's got inflammatory antibodies there to try deal with whatever's going on. So if you're seeing a bit more actual mucus coming out when you're on the Qenda, that's fine as well. It shows it's bringing stuff out. That is very common on the Qenda to see some mucus coming out as well, or I've seen it in a lot of people. So if it's intestinal plaque that's coming out, that's great. Like impacted feces that's been squashed against the wall of the intestinal lining, we want that stuff to be coming out, because if you've got impacted feces on the wall of your intestinal lining, anytime you're drinking water, even if it's the cleanest water in the world, that water has to absorb through the impacted feces of the colon. And so even if it's really clean water, it has to absorb through the impacted feces, which is going to make it dirty basically, so it can make you feel bad. So the more this impacted feces comes out of you, the better you will feel basically. And obviously when you're dealing with lupus, yeah, I'm not surprised. With lupus, it is a very chronic autoimmune condition that has taken over all your body. So the fact that you're feeling better energy wise is a good sign, and the fact that you've done 1 week on the 2 scoops twice a day, you're just really starting the protocol of the twice a day. The twice a day is when the magic really happens. You do the morning serving for the first week to build your body up to it, and then you go to twice a day to really get rid of the parasites and fungal infections, bacterial overgrowths, viral infections, whatever's contributing to your lupus. That will start to come out. And as you've been on the 2 scoops twice a day for a week, yeah, this is where the magic happens. I do recommend staying on the 2 scoops twice a day for 6 weeks or even 8 weeks if your budget allows it. And the reason for that is parasites can lay their eggs and they can lay dormant in the intestinal tissue. They can lay dormant in there for 6 to 8 weeks. So by having the Qenda twice a day, that's enough time to get the parasites out of the system. So, and yeah, you've just got to remember that you're feeling better energy wise, and you're still very early on in the cleanse. Like you've done the first week of, sorry, someone's just ordering some milk. So you've done the first week of the 2 scoops twice a day. Yeah, there's going to be loose stools. You've got to think the reason why you get loose stools is because the intestines have three roles really: one to absorb nutrients from food, one to absorb water from the stool, and then thirdly to excrete waste. And when you're getting like loose stools, like just the same as when you get a stomach bug, your body creates loose stools to try flush it out. If you've had loose stools all the time, that shows that your body's trying to flush out something inside there that is not it's not able to get out on its own. So now you're taking the Qenda will be helping flush out the toxins, and then as long as them toxins start to balance out and you've got more of them out your system, you'll see that the Qenda solidifies the stool, and then and that's more just like the jelly consistency of the Qenda. And then as you keep going and get rid of the infections, then your body doesn't need to have the diarrhea anymore. So yeah, so your energy levels are the best they have been, so you need to remember that. That shows that your body is healthy. And then just know that you said your stools are still nowhere near right, and that's what we expect when we're cleansing. As you're cleansing, you're having antiparasitics, antifungals, antimicrobials. They're taking the bad stuff out of your intestines and your body and putting it in the toilet where it belongs. And then you've got like the slippery elm, the marshmallow root, the licorice root. They're working to heal the damaged intestinal lining. So if you've got lupus or any sort of autoimmune condition, as you may have seen from my videos, there's always an element of leaky gut to that. And leaky gut is, instead of having tight junctions all together in your gut, you actually have gaps in between these tight junctions. So then you have holes in your intestinal lining, basically. When you have these holes in the intestinal lining, that's when undigested food particles, other waste and toxins can pass into your blood. When these pass into your blood, it creates an immune response. Your immune system sees these undigested food particles, other waste and toxins in the blood, and creates an immune response, which is basically inflammation circulating all the way around your body. So with you having lupus and having the Qenda, it obviously shows that the intestinal lining is healed, is not leaking as much, basically, which is why your energy levels will be a lot better. The healthier stools will come later when your body's got rid of a lot more of the toxins, basically. It's as simple as that. So and it's basically your first week on 2 scoops twice a day. So, and like I said, you really want to be doing that for 6 to 8 weeks, or an absolute minimum of like 3 weeks if you was on a really tight budget. But yeah, the 2 scoops twice a day is what's really going to get stuff moving and helping you. So yeah, you're on the right track. I've explained why you can get loose bowel movements when your body's trying to flush out toxins, and when your body's prioritizing flushing out the toxins rather than absorbing the water from the stool. So yeah, keep on the 2 scoops twice a day and keep going. And like you said, you've already seen the energy increase in your body, so that's a sign to keep going. And just remember that it's like a 3 to 4 month cleanse protocol. So you'll feel better as you go, but the cleansing will come in stages as you go along as well. So yeah, keep going. You're on the right track. It's still early days, so it's not like having a medication that just cancels all symptoms. It's giving your body the toolbox to get rid of the bad guys, heal the damaged intestinal lining, cleanse liver, kidneys, gallbladder, all that stuff. So all that's going on. Just give it chance to actually work. Yes, a great question, Anonymous. And then there's a follow on from this question.